Welcome to Marshlands for another casted game. On the east side of the marsh in the teal we have Downfall as the Delhi Sultanate, and on the west side of the swamp we have Glorious Evolution, also known as Corvinus 1 in the green, as Zhu Xi's Legacy. Now, both of these civilizations are becoming more and more popular. I'm seeing them more and more on the ladder, and I think it's going to be a very interesting matchup. Corvinus known for doing some crazy plays and something slightly different, and Zhu Xi obviously being a very, very flexible civ. I would say it's often, a lot of people call it the easy China. They have a very easy Chuganu rush, they can do a super fast castle, they can do loads of stuff like that. And apparently they can also go double scout. So if we check out on Corvinus's side, he is going to be scouting all around the marsh. There aren't many sheep here, so it looks like he's going to be trying to deny as much as he can from the Delhi as early as possible. The Delhi, on the other hand, are, I would say, pretty good on this map, depending on the spawn. So usually if we take a look at the overview, you've got the two sacred sites in the opposite corners to the players. So those two are basically pretty even everywhere, and the one in the center is literally in the center of the map. So a little bit harder to wall with these fish, but basically it's anyone's game for the sacred sites. And if we take a little look over, we can see the classic Delhi setup. We've got two villagers on gold, everyone on the berries, living their best life. Now, the food spawn, I think, is going to be very important in this matchup, especially for Delhi. And it looks like he's kind of lucked out. His berries are very, very far forward, very exposed, and his other berries are also pretty far forward. He can wall this in, but that does mean he doesn't have any safe food at the back. He's going to have to really go out somewhere else. He obviously can't get the deer, but he can get extra berries. Whereas if we take a look at Corvinus's side, he's also got lots of front food, but he does have a super secure hidden safe boar in this little stealth cove that we've got going on, and all of his food is actually all forward here in the same position. So if Downfall can take advantage of this and plant his units here, that's going to deny both berries and the deer. But I would imagine we're going to be seeing the meditation garden very shortly, and I think that's probably where I would stick it. It depends on what Corvinus is planning on doing, but if you stick it here, you get some stone, some wood, and loads of food. That's pretty decent. All of the gold mines are really far away, so there's not really an option for that. Unless he wants the gold, then he'd stick it here in his base and get a few of those resources. But I think getting a huge amount of free food is never going to be something to sniff at. Dome of the Faith coming for Downfall, so potentially planning on having a counter for the Castle Age when that comes through from Corvinus if he doesn't go for the feudal all-in, because with the Dome of the Faith he's going to be able to get those techs a little bit faster, and Tower of Victory is great, but it's really important when you've got tons of archers in the feudal age because of that extra attack speed. In the Castle Age, if you're going for lancers and stuff like that, it's not as good, whereas the Dome of the Faith, that's that landmark, does scale a lot better because you can continue to get those scholars out for 50% cheaper. Corvinus, great minds think alike, and that meditation garden is up at the front. I would be really interested to see what that is, and he's just caught it. So also good to remember, with the berries you have to actually catch all of the individual bushes to get all of the bonus, whereas here the stone you only have to catch the edge of the stone outcropping, and the wood is obviously based on how many trees he gets. So he's obviously gone for more of the wood, more of the food rather than the wood, so he's probably only going to get a couple of wood per minute, but that's okay because that food is going to make a big difference. Now, taking a look at his macro, I think we're going to be seeing the Zhu Xi fast castle because there's no villagers on wood, and if you're going for the Chuganu all in, you'd want to be getting those production buildings down quickly. And we do see some stone being gathered. Interesting. So, not seen this one before, whether he's actually just doing a single pull on the stone to get some emplacements going, maybe on a tower. We'll have to wait and see. But let's take a look over at Downfall's side. He is still got a couple on here. He's queuing up those scholars and getting all of those techs into queue. And you can see these top level guys get those in queue immediately. So we're going to be seeing a probably 7-minute, pre-7-minute pickup of those sacred sites, and so this is where he's going to be able to get some value from that, but no production as of yet, so it doesn't look like he's planning on doing any super fast raiding at this point. But as I thought, that hand cannon slits has come in, and where has it gone down? That's the question. Where is it? Hello? Where, where's Corvinus put it? I literally have no idea. He's got a tower. So, oh, here. Okay, right. So he's actually defending his meditation gardens. That's interesting. So maybe it's because he knows that all of his food is up here and he wants to secure it. I'd probably say that tower probably could have been here and it would have actually also protected all of these deer. But if he can pull all of those in, that would be pretty good. Let's take a look at the income per minute. 90 food a minute, 9 wood, and 23 stone. So what's that? 23... 32 and then 124. So what's that, about 3 villagers for free? That's pretty decent. And I love the fact that Corvinus is using his outpost to take out the deer when it comes in range. That's pretty funny. But the macro, we're seeing that castle age. He's getting some wood now, I imagine, for his stables, because we're going to see those knights. And I'm really interested to see how Downfall responds. He is going for some units now, ready for getting those sacred sites potentially, but he definitely doesn't want to get caught out by those castle age units, because that's going to be pretty scary for him. Ghazi has found one of the scouts, and he's now going to be able to go and see exactly what is going on. And yeah, I think also, just so you know, Downfall is a top player. I think he's in the top 20 or the top 30. Corvinus also right at the top as well. So these guys know exactly what they're doing. Another tower coming down on the gold. I think a little short wall here would have been nice. It would have prevented those sliding in raids, but I guess you don't want to block off that deer either. We can see the Ghazi is going to be checking that scout as the scholars come out to try and get those sacred sites. We've got the Mount Lu Academy coming in. Interesting. So we're not going for the Baldy landmark. I was expecting to go for the classic Knights Relic play, but it doesn't look like we are, unless I'm completely stupid and thinking of the wrong one. No, I'm not. It's a different landmark. So if we take a little look, then we got single whip reform that makes our Imperial officials move faster. We've got the supervision increased from 150 to 300, which is absolutely insane. We've got they can now supervise keeps and outposts to reduce damage, which is okay, and then increasing the limit by 2. So using that tech, he's going to be able to get a load more of those Imperial officials out and really boost his economy. But they are a lot. You still have to spend the gold on those, so I'm not sure whether this is a better landmark than the Baldies, but you know, we'll see what Corvinus tries to do with it. Obviously, he's in the castle age now. Downfall knows that, so whether he's going to push or he's going to try and make his way up himself. He's walling in those berries on the front side so he can get his food income going, and he's also going for the sacred site at the bottom. The scout trying to decap, but the Ghazis making swift work of him. So that's going to be 2 sacred sites down very quickly for Downfall, and the center one is also ticking. So this is going to force Corvinus out of his base, and as expected, the Lancers are now coming in. And the Imperial official is supervising, so look how quickly they come out, 14 seconds. And this is where Corvinus actually was able to delay that for quite a while, because he can just then pump these out very quickly with an Imperial official. Has he gone for any of these techs? He still hasn't gone for any of the techs from the landmark, but they do collect tax twice as often, and they get 20% of their tax as food. Oh, that's super interesting. So these guys now are going to pick up a huge amount. Let's see how much he gets. He's supervising. All of them are supervising. Lots of supervision. Ghazi's trying to dive in, do some damage, but with the hand cannon slits and the TC firing, I don't know if that's worth it. You've got to be really careful of those lancers, because they are going to be coming and decapping those sites. Trying to get a little bit of gold to boost his economy. No villagers on gold at home as of yet, so it looks like he's trying to use the sacred sites to get to castle that little bit faster, because then he can push out onto the food. So all of these villagers on berries, but no other food secured. So once these are gone, he's going to be in a little bit of trouble from these lancers, I think. Corvinus then decapping the central one as well, so that's another sacred site going down, but the top one is being walled in by the lonely spearman, and that is going to probably secure him just enough gold from that sacred site to get up to the castle age. Lancers now coming and trying to chase out the Ghazi, and the Ghazi definitely do not want to be taking this fight. They do have slightly more movement speed, 188 versus 162, so they shouldn't be caught out there, but a Lancer is now in the Delhi base, idling up that economy, and he's not going to care about that TC fire, especially with no garrison villagers. One down, and he's going to be able to make swift work of Downfall's economy if he doesn't get some units out to defend that. So Corvinus now just getting those attack pings going on the backside as the House of Learning goes up in the front. But this is an interesting choice because the keeps potentially would give him a little bit of map control for the food. As we can see, the Ghazis are now being chased around by these Lancers and the huge amount of damage, and Corvinus pulling back the low health ones there. We've also got Dali horses, which has been updated in the recent patch, now actually does give the 20 attack speed bonus that previously it was bugged and it didn't for some reason. So that's going to be a big improvement for those Lancers. None of the Mount Lu Academy tech's in just yet, but the Lancer has found the food at the back. But Spears and Ghazis, I think, are going to be able to ruin his day. And the Ghazis do have that bonus heavy damage. It's only 2, but that is going to be able to put a stop to that because they are faster. So every little hit there, whittling him down, and the Lancer is then going to bite the dust. The Lancer taking out those spears and stopping the sacred site decap at the bottom there. Scholar's gone down, so that sacred site is now just going to whiz its way back down to neutral. But we've still got 2 here for downfall as he hits the castle age, and we flick over to income per minute. So Corvinus's income is looking pretty decent at the moment, very heavy on the gold, and he's probably going to have to start thinking eventually about where he's going to secure up his next gold vein, and all of those are very far forward. But at the moment, it's all about the sacred sites. That Lancer's about to get caught by a spear if he's not careful, and again, more units being taken down on the south side. Let's take a look at the House of Learning, because I think this is always a really good way of checking out what the Delhi's plan is. He's queued up 1. Hone blades. That's it. I'm just going to be making men-at-arms. that's his plan. Corvinus's Lancer coming in there, just sneaking in, trying to do some damage and keep downfall on his toes as his Ghazis there get another Lancer down. So this is definitely going to be a quantity over quality thing. Corvinus is just going for those quality units and trying to make the most of them, as he's now finally picking up some of those relics. Without those baldy guys, it's taking them that little bit longer to get them out. But we do already have 2 in hand for downfall. If we take a look, we've got 1 just about to come in the bottom of the base. And where's the other one? There we go. So he's got 2 of those safe ones, and the other guys are running out now to grab relics and to secure the sacred sites. Another Lancer coming in to do damage. Not too much too many villager kills just yet, but this idling of the economy for downfall is really starting to have an impact on his overall income. But he's getting all these eco-techs for free, so if Corvinus isn't careful, these are going to start paying off, as the scholars should be building up from the Dome of the Faith. So these guys can come out and go in the production buildings. We can see here that downfall is definitely trying to get his numbers up very quickly, and he's also raiding on the backside with some Ghazi. Another couple of villagers getting caught out there on the back. Lancers back in to defend, and they're not even garrisoning. They don't even care. There we go. Finally garrisoning, and that Ghazi is going to take it down. And this Arrow Slits outpost is actually doing a good job of defending the meditation gardens, because as soon as you have units in the range, it does reduce the income. So this 93 food per minute would actually be cut down by 10% for every unit. So this is where, if Downfall can get some units in here, it's going to have a big impact on Corvinus's overall economy. But running into this, that Lancer is not going to last long. There we go. He's swiftly taken out, and the numbers are starting to build. Lancer crossbow for Corvinus, and downfall is going for a little sprinkling of everything. We've got spears, we've got lancers, crossbows, we've got some extra scouts coming in, probably to try and use the pro scouts a little bit potentially. So maybe that's what these guys are looking at here, to try and grab some food and bring it home, because this little deer pack over here would be quite juicy, and also this one as well. They've got it for free. Just go and grab the deer, mate. We also can see a tower elephant in queue, so trying to make the most of those Delhi Ellies while they are still super powered and everyone at the top level hates them. Downpour is pumping them out. 3 relics in the bag for him, 2 for Corvinus, so his gold income is really starting to climb, and he's going to be able to pump out loads of these scholars with that reduced scholar cost. So all of his techs. We do have double blacksmith, so these level 2 techs should be coming in pretty quickly. And very interestingly, Downfall is really focusing his technologies. So we can see here he's gone for all of the level 1 the level 1 melee, and then he's getting the other ones. So he's actually not just queuing them all up and waiting for every single one. He's being really selective, which I think is a really interesting way that high level players will play the deli. We've got Home Blades, and Hearty Rations is coming in next for a little eco boost, as Corvinus is planting himself on that central sacred site to make sure that that's taken. And I actually never noticed the little animation they get while they're capturing a sacred site, but I actually love that little icon. I wish we had more of those. Elephant coming in, trying to take out the lancers. Oh, and trying to circle around. Crossbows on crossbows, elephants on crossbows as well. But the micro there from Corvinus is definitely paying off. Crossbows are target firing those lancers, and now the lancers are getting on that elephant, and Downfall doesn't have a front line to protect those. The spears and that just sitting there, not doing it, and the elephant goes down. That's a huge amount of loss. That's like 1,000 resources there. If we take a little look, let's get the exact number. It's exactly 1,000. Perfect. So that is a massive loss, and we do have another one, but we need to protect them, and you need to have a front line. So against these crossbows and lancers, I think I'd be going for archers and crossbows. I definitely wouldn't be making lancers into them, because these crossbow numbers from Corvinus are looking a little bit scary, and with the mobility that these guys have, the elephant's never going to catch them. And moving all of your units with the elephants does mean they move quite slowly as well, so that's going to be a problem. Lancer just coming in as the military have run out of the base and getting a few more villagers down and idling up that economy as well. If we take a look over, let's see, he did go for the first tech, the one that gives him more Imperial officials, so we should have a load more of those in queue as he's just pumping more and more units and supervising all of these buildings. So I'm not sure exactly what this guy's supervising. I don't know if we could see a little line, but I hope he's not supervising this lumber camp, because that's not going to be doing much. So gold on the backline is almost completely emptied, but it looks like Corvinus actually isn't on any gold anywhere else. It's interesting. Where is he? I can't tell, but yeah, so now this is the problem. Delhi are really trying to secure up some of this food. All of their villagers, look at these guys, 23 villagers, half the economy is out and exposed. If Corvinus can make a hit on that, that's going to make it very difficult for Downfall to come back, and it may be his downfall. Going for a keep, because he does have compound of the... He doesn't have compound of the defenders. What am I talking about? It's House of Learning. Ignore me. It's early. I'm sleepy. Let's do this. So the Lancers pushing them off, making a mosque there, which is going to give him those bonuses from that network, as Corvinus is also putting a keep on the center and massing up, stealing that gold from this central one. And this is exactly what Corvinus needed to do to secure up this gold, as well as securing up the food. The front berries has gone. He's got this safe one, but he's actually going to be moving out onto the fish, because it's now secured up by this keep with those scary Chinese emplacements. We've got the Grenadier hand-cased bombs coming in, and we can see these guys now popping up, and they're going to be a nice little addition to Corvinus's composition, because those guys will actually give Downfall's units a vulnerability. Every time they get hit by that splash damage, they take extra damage. But now that Downfall has the keep up, he is also going to be able to get village fortresses. So it's not just with the compound of the defender, it just makes the keeps cheaper. All keeps allow you to get village fortresses, so that's actually something I think a lot of Delhi players or people playing against Delhi forget, that you can actually still take advantage of that. It takes a while to come in. It's going to be another 2 minutes before we get there, but we can see the resources stacking up. I hope he's not planning an Imperial while Corvinus is sitting there with all of these units. That would be a little bit scary. And fighting under that keep, it's going to take out a lot of these units. And these Lancers, even just the numbers, Corvinus has the extra numbers, and he's also got the 20% extra attack speed. So he's going to be able to do that, a little bit of extra damage as well. Also, the religious units there healing up. The monks going to be keeping these lancers alive as the villagers are farming in the middle of the chaos. So we can see now that we've almost gathered up all of these berries, and then Downfall is going to have to then continue to find some more food on the map as he masses up at the front ready for his big defense. Corvinus doesn't have walls all around, but he doesn't really have anywhere that can be raided now. He's on this wood line, but you've got to dive under the TC and this tower with emplacements to get there, and all of his food and gold is all under this one keep, so he's keeping his economy really contained and defendable. And Downfall on the other side, he is still got these units sitting by the deer, and he's got a safe gold at the back, which will work really nicely for him to defend, and he's secured up this gold at the top with this keep. But yeah, this food is about to run out, and I think we're going to have to find some more, and there's not a huge amount more left on the map apart from these really piddly little little berry bushes. But Corvinus is going for the push, and Downfall is pulling back, so make sure that he can get the best fight. All of those crossbows, a huge amount going in. Ghazi's trying to get on top of those, and crossbows going in. Elephants, they're also trying to tank up those lancers, but there's a huge amount, and the crossbows don't have the front line. The lancers being able to get in, and look, there we go, they're all purple. They've been hit by the grenadiers, and they're going to be taking extra damage. Mango's going to be trying to take out those guys and the grenadiers, but the ranged units are doing a huge amount to the Mangoes, but that's all the front line for Corvinus has been taken out, and the Tower Elephant now is charging into all of those crossbows, but he's definitely going to get taken out quickly. I'd love to see a Scholar pull, but the Tower Elephant's down. Another 1,000 resources down for Downfall, and there downfalls the Elephant. Yep, I'm going to keep making that joke until the end of the game, so you're welcome, you love it. And I think this is where pulling out those scholars at this stage of the game, if we take a look, he doesn't have any researchers in queue, so you'd want to chuck all of those scholars out on the field and keep all of your units healed. We've got a couple of them, but definitely take advantage of that. But now the military units building again for Corvinus. At the moment, Downfall has the advantage. He's got 30 if we ignore the scholars against 20, but he's not got a way to push into the base. We can see quite a bit of siege coming for him, but we got the classic Chinese siege for Corvinus, the famous nest of bees ready to shoot off those rockets. Keep coming up with a couple of towers here to give us the extra vision. So it looks like if we can get it all in the one screen, there we go. So we can see the double treb now taking out that keep. The villagers are going to have to come and pull and do a heal on it unless Corvinus can dive and get on top of those trebs. All the villagers moving up to the northern side with the fish. This is now actually exposing his food eco. If Downfall can get a couple of raids on that, it's definitely going to help him pull this one back. But looking at the eco, it's very similar, even with this keep that should be producing villagers, but it isn't. It's like an idle TC now, and it makes me very, very sad. Sad Amarath. And can you tell I've got kids? Oh my god, my brain. And so that keep is going down, and it looks like both players are just massing up. It's Downfall is working on his farm transition, which is always a really sticky point for the Delhi. He's exhausted pretty much all of that food, and oh no, Corvinus has found his villagers again on the top side. So these guys are going to come down, and he doesn't have the units to defend them. Running back to that keep to try and keep them alive, but this number is just going to keep climbing, and that's a massive damage to the economy. The keep has gone down, but Corvinus is saying, who cares? Let's just keep making nest of bees. And he's just massing up horsemen, crossbows, and this switch into horsemen I think is going to be working very well for him, because he knows Downfall is massively into crossbows, and now he's got the exact counter. Still keeping crossbows against those units, but that cavalry is going to be really scary for Zhu Xi, and I don't think Downfall has an answer for it at this stage. He's got mangoes for the ranged units, but we can also see trebs now out for Corvinus, and he's going to be taking out these towers for the vision. There we go. So it looks like Downfall's trying to hit the units now with the trebs, but both players massing up, and very similar military numbers. Don't be confused by this. We've got 13 scholars, and are they out on the field? That is the question. So let's take a look. Yeah, they're all being pulled. They're all coming to the front lines, really taking advantage of that military inspiration. So it looks like Corvinus is going to be going in for a big push now. Horsemen and crossbows in the front, nest of bees in the back. And there we go. They're diving straight onto those trebs. They're going to get taken out very swiftly, as now horsemen are obviously the counter to siege. And nest of bees doing a huge amount of those range units. And this is where he's not got any units to take on them. Oh my god, look at that damage. Those nest of bees are absolutely shredding everything. The Delhi forces are just absolutely getting obliterated, and even the elephant is running scared from this siege. There's only a little bit of damage, but with that amount of units, the surround on the elephant, oh no, and they go down as well. Nest of bees charging in as the horsemen go in to do damage to the eco, and Downfall desperately trying to get some units out to defend against this big push. Let's see if he can get anything out to do it. The siege has gone down. There's explosions everywhere. Crossbows and nest of bees just moving slowly into Downfall's base. and getting all those military, all those crossbows quickly taken out by those nest of bees, and the villagers being pulled now on the top side to try and get them. The nest of bees getting all of those villagers before they even get there. Horsemen coming in to force them back away as well, and this is where there's more scholars in here, but they're not going to be able to do anything at this stage. And Downfall is desperately trying to keep his villagers away from the action so he can defend, massing up in his base exactly where he should be doing it, away from the action. But if we take a little look now, it's definitely looking more scary now. 19 military units, and nearly half of those are nest of bees, and they can just shred everything. So we've also got a trader for some reason. I'm not sure why we're trading, but okay, sure. So I'm not sure exactly where that guy's going, but yeah, Downfall is desperately trying to make some units. Ghazi's coming in. He's got a mangonel, which is going to be taken out by these horsemen. Oh no, that's so expensive. You definitely don't want to lose it at this stage of the game, but just about keeping it alive, trying to do a hit on those. Oh, that's quite a big hit on the mangonel. Taking out a couple of those. There we go. Nice little pick up there. But Downfall doesn't have the units. He's really got to bide his time. Ghazi's coming in from the bottom, trying to get those nest of bees. Once those guys come down, then he might be able to put up a bit of a fight against this. But Treb's taking down the landmarks on the back, and the Ghazi's running in, but not quite able to get on top of those nest of bees. A couple more being taken out. There's still one Anna sprinkled as well, but the horsemen with that extra attack speed are doing a huge amount. Mangonel getting taken out on the top side by the horsemen. Corvinus going for the second mangonel as the Ghazis are going for the Trebs. It's literally just siege destruction everywhere, trying to get these Trebs down. The villager pull with a keep coming up in the front of the base, and there, one of the landmarks we can see from the notification has just gone down, and the Ghazis are trying to get on top of the Trebs to stop this fight, but that keep is going to make it very, very difficult if he can't stop that. But Zhu Xi has the increased build speed. That keep is going to be going up, and then he's going to have to run away. The full villager pull. How many villagers do we have for Corvinus now under this keep? We've got 41. Over half of his economy have been pulled to get that keep up, and now Downfall is going to call GG. The final downfall of Downfall is when the keep fell down. I hope you enjoyed this top level crazy game, and I'll see you next time for some more jittery Treb action.